Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to replace or repair the fan on this MSI GS73VR. This is a 7RF-223US. Excuse me. Alright, so first thing you want to do is take a PH1 screwdriver and remove all the screws from the bottom. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, don't forget that one under the warranty sticker. All right, once you do that, you'll want to get a pry tool or your fingernail in between the gap of the cover. There is a BIOS reset button here. There's a little hole that you can press with like a needle or a pin. So if you're just having some weird issues, you can actually use that button. Just push a little needle in there, press and hold it for like 20-30 seconds. Alright, anyways, to get under the cover, as you can see, it's pretty simple. You just go underneath and go around. The back here where the hinge is a little bit tricky. You do kind of have to get, you kind of have to pull this part up, and I'll show you why in a bit, but sorry, my hand's probably going to be in the way. But while you're pulling this piece up, you can pull the cover out. So let me show you why that is. So on the back of this cover here, you can see, I don't know if you can see it, there's little holes there. Sorry, on this metal plate. It's not going to focus, I think. There we go. You can see those little holes right there. And there's parts of the case that actually protrude into that to hold this in place. So you do have to pull the kind of pull this piece back, this edge back. All right. Anyways, first thing you want to do after opening that, of course, is disconnect the battery. So the battery connector is here. I am going to probably have to pry this battery up. It's held in place with an adhesive, but let me see if I can disconnect the battery without doing that. Basically, the connector here, there's not much slack, but just like every other computer, you kind of just wiggle it side to side like this. I don't know if you can see. Let me see if I can show this. Sorry, there we go. So you just grab the wire and you kind of just wiggle it like that. But you have to be kind of careful, because if you bend the cable too much back and forth, then you can actually end up damaging the wires. So I'm going to turn the computer this way so it's easier for me to access it. And just grab the wires and kind of wiggle this as you pull. So it's really difficult to do that, so I might have to take this out first. Okay. So what you do to remove this stuff, let's see here. So this is the keyboard backlight cable, the keyboard cable, then this cable is for the USB board, and then I think this is the trackpad cable. But anyways, we're going to remove this yellow tape. This is called Kapton tape, which is like a heat insulating tape kind of thing. All right, so just peel that up. All right, I'm going to set that tape aside. All right, then there's these little latches. You just flip it up, just like this, just like that, and just like that. Okay, and then when you do that, you can pull these connectors out. All right, just like this. The only problem is they tape this down onto the battery, so I'm gonna have to peel up this tape here too. Okay, so take that out. Let me zoom out for you. All right, so this cable, I'm gonna remove it completely. So here you can see MB means it goes to the motherboard, USB means it goes to the USB board here. All right, so I'm gonna pull this Kapton tape up as well. We'll set that aside. Flip the latch up. All right, and once you flip the latch up, you can get the cable and pull it out. Okay, just like that. All right, so we're gonna peel this black tape up so that way we can get the keyboard backlight and the keyboard cable out. All right, so just peel this thing up. This kind of tape usually sticks really strong, and sometimes it'll rip to shreds, so be careful. All right, and just peel this up. Be careful when you peel it. You don't want to tear these cables out, and you also don't want to pinch the cables too much because they are folded. So if you pinch it too much, you can actually end up damaging the cable. So I try and peel it like this, okay, being very careful not to pinch the cable, just like that. Okay, and then we can peel this cable up. There we go. So now we got those cable connectors out. The battery, it's held with a strong adhesive. Usually I use like a big thin pry tool like this. I'll go underneath and then I'll kind of pry it up like this slowly, okay? I don't know if you can even see, but basically I have this tool and then I'm just prying it forward, okay? We'll zoom back in. All right, pry that. I'll go on this side, slowly pry this. Okay, go to this side as well. Make sure that you get underneath the battery itself. All right, pry that up. Wow, this battery is holding in there really strong. I don't know. So just pry this. Okay. Wow. Okay, this battery is holding in really strong here. So pry it up. I'm twisting it a little bit. There we go. Okay. So just like that. Slowly pry this battery up. Okay, I'm gonna try and pry this way now. Wow, this battery's like stuck in there really good. So I don't know. I might have to just leave it and try to pull this out because I don't want to risk damaging anything. Okay. I'm gonna see, but yeah, if your battery's bad, you'll basically want to pry your whole battery pack up like this. It's kind of a pain. I don't know why they designed it like this, but I guess I'll pry it. So I'm just twisting and prying underneath. You want to be careful. You don't want to puncture the plastic of this battery. Okay. So I'm just prying this up. You don't want to go too fast or you can cause more damage as well. Alright, let's see if I can pop this up. Slowly peeling up the battery here. There we go. Okay, so this is coming up. Be careful with the adhesive and the keyboard trackpad, or the keyboard and keyboard backlight cables. Alright. There we go. So here underneath you can see there's two sticky pads there and then the sticky pads here. But anyways, oh, it's still stuck to the battery. Let go. There we go. So once we get the battery out like this, I'm going to turn this so it's easier for me. But you basically grab the wire here, okay, and the connectors there, and you just pull it as you wiggle it, just like this, and there we go. So we got the battery out. The battery model, let's see if there's a battery model. So battery model here is BTY-M6J. So hopefully you can see that there. If you can't, I'm sorry. Hopefully you'll be able to search it anyways. So I'll set the battery aside. I don't know why they put this tape here, made it such a pain to remove. The trackpad cable we're going to disconnect as well. Okay, because we're going to have to pull the whole motherboard out. Alright, so I'm going to have to zoom in and show these other things. So you got the speaker connector here. Let's zoom in. Okay, to remove that, just go on the side wings and then just wiggle it as you pull it, just like that. Alright, so we got that out. Alright, we got another connector here. This is for the SD card slot as well as the internet connector or the Ethernet connector. Okay, so flip that up and then pull this connector back as well. Alright, be careful because they put like some aluminum tape on here to kind of make it more rigid, so it's harder to pull this out actually. Just pull it back, alright, just like that. If you want, you can take out all these extra boards, these small like boards here. There's just two screws holding it and then you can lift it out. I'm gonna leave them in because I don't need to take them out, or maybe actually I do. So let's take this piece, well, not the board but the connector completely. So we'll take that out and then we'll pull this cable out. Okay, because I have to get to those screws under there. Alright, we got the hard drive here. So this one also, it looks like there's nothing really holding it in place. So you just peel up this yellow tape. right? Flip up the little latch just like all the other ones, pull the connector out. Looks like nothing's holding the hard drive in place, so I'm going to use my thin pry tool here, and then we're just going to pop this up. Alright, just like this. There's a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive, 2 terabytes on this one. You can upgrade it to an SSD if you want, so yeah. And then this connector here is for the LED, sorry you can't see, but the lights on the front. So those are the indicator lights. So we're going to disconnect that as well. Okay, flip that latch up and pull that connector out. I'm going to set this tape aside as well. Okay, you also got the CMOS or the BIOS battery here. It's kind of taped in place. Usually I don't like to pull the battery out because then it resets like the date and time and all that stuff. So I try and leave this in, but let me see if it's going to come out easily or not. Okay, so I'm just slowly prying up the CMOS battery. Okay, it looks like I can stick this back down. Alright, so I'm going to leave this CMOS battery connected, but basically to pull it out, you just, like the battery connector and the other ones with the wings on it, you just wiggle it and pull this connector and it will come out. Alright, so we got that. Now we're going to take out the wireless card connector here. Actually, we need to disconnect the whole wireless card completely. So there's a red thing on this one, which is the auxiliary antenna. Okay, so to pop the wireless card out, just like every other computer I've worked on, you just go from the tail and you just pop it up like that. Then you got the main antenna that doesn't have a little thing of like tape or color on it, and then just pop that up as well. Okay, we're going to take the wireless card out using the PH1 screwdriver. Just take the one screw out. Try and keep all the screws in order because they are different sizes, shapes, and lengths. Okay, don't want to get them all mixed up. So we'll take out that one screw, lift up the card slightly, and then you can kind of use this square cover to kind of rock it out, just like that. Okay. Oh, the tape is still stuck there, so I need to peel that up. There we go. Alright, and then we'll set the wireless card aside. Zoom out again. Alright, so one thing I didn't mention is after removing the battery, you want to press and hold the power button to drain any power that's left in the computer, and you want to do that for about 10 to 15 seconds. This is most important when you deal with like the LCD or LVDS connector there. So usually all these other connectors, it's not that important to drain the power, but it's a good idea to do it anyways. So I probably should have mentioned that earlier. Hopefully no one damaged their computer doing that without watching the video first. Alright, anyways, we're going to peel out the connector here so that way we can get the LCD or LVDS connector out. So just get underneath the tape, peel this up. This one might be easier if you use like a thin pointy tool like this. Okay, so that way you can get underneath the adhesive and then peel it up. Once you get it started, you can kind of just use your fingernails or tweezers or whatever to peel it. These kinds of tapes are pretty difficult to peel off, so kind of have to go slow as well. Alright, so we're going to peel this tape. You want to hold down the connector here so that you don't accidentally rip it up, and then peel the tape off of it. Okay, just like that. Alright, then we're going to flip the latch up just like all the rest of the computers or all the other connectors, and then pull this thing out. Alright, so you got the wireless antennas out, we got the LCD or LVDS connector out. Alright, so now we got to take all the screws out of the motherboard. So for this kind of thing, I like to get a marker, and then I like to mark where I took the screws out from, so that way it's easier to put them back later. So what I'm going to do, let me zoom out so you can kind of see, there's a lot of screws in here. So first I'm going to remove this screw. Okay. And then what I do is I mark that just like that with a little line. Okay. And then you got another screw up here. Okay. Take that out. And then same thing. Mark that. Okay. If you notice, there's some marks already on these. So if you have a marker that's different color, that's a good idea to use a different color so you can tell which marks you made and which marks weren't already there, or you can just draw the marks like a different way, right? We'll take out the screw down here. If you want, you can draw like multiple marks or a star or whatever, or just draw a circle around the whole thing. But yeah, okay, so we got that. Let's see here. All right, we got another screw up in this corner here. So this one doesn't have a circle around it, so it's kind of hard to tell, but there's already a mark. I'm going to just make another mark there. All right, and we got this screw here. Okay, mark that one as well. Make sure that you keep yourself grounded so static electricity doesn't damage the motherboard or the logic board. All right, get that screw out as well. Sorry, most of that stuff I assume is kind of common sense, so I kind of forget to mention it. Yeah, alright, then there's this screw here. Alright, can't really mark that because it's on the fan, but I'll do it anyways, and hopefully I'll just remember. Then there's another screw right here. Okay, mark that one as well. And then we got the last, I think this is the last screw, holding the fan down here. Okay, just like that. Alright, mark that one as well. Alright, so let's see if we can lift the board up now. You want to be careful because, oh, there's one screw hiding up here in between the two fans. Make sure you remove that. Okay, so these screws are a little bit difficult to spot. Let's see if we can lift it now. So it is still kind of stuck. You want to be careful when lifting this heatsink. It looks like this board is kind of in the way, so I'm going to remove it. It might not be completely blocking it, but might as well remove it so it makes it easier. Okay, so we'll just remove these two screws. And then we can lift this board up and take it out. This is the SD card slot and the Ethernet port. Okay, so now here you can see we can kind of lift it up a bit better. Now I'm gonna take a quick look over the top and see if I'm missing anything. Looks like I got them all. Okay, so now I'm gonna lift up the main board here from the bottom. It does feel like it's getting caught on something. Okay, we also got the speaker connector down here, so you want to lift that. And then while you're lifting that, just grab the cable as close as you can to the connector and wiggle it back. If you can reach the little wings here. I don't think you'll be able to see it. I can't really move my laptop around now because there's too much stuff. So I'm just gonna try and do it as good as I can. Grab the wings, wiggle it, and pop it out just like that. Okay. If you want, you can take the whole speaker out. It just pops up like this. I don't know if you saw that. Sorry, but the speaker just pops out like that. There's no screws or anything holding it in place. So if you want, you can take the whole thing out and then just set it aside. All right, so now let's lift this up. Looks like it's coming out. All right, you want to kind of be careful. I'm lifting on this side first, and then I can kind of swing it out towards myself. This side's getting stuck a little bit, so you kind of have to be careful. Just kind of wiggle it around, watch it, and slowly maneuver it if you can. Oh, do we have to remove this first? This cable is for, I think, the power button, but I don't know if I pop that out how I'm gonna... Okay, this cable actually goes around here and then it goes underneath, so I think we have to remove this cable. Let me somewhat zoom in. So this cable's stuck there. I think that's actually the power button cable, so I'm going to use this tool and kind of peel up that adhesive. Alright, I'm going to try and peel that adhesive away. Be careful because you can damage this cable, so you want to kind of pull the cable with that adhesive and slowly peel it up. Alright, and if I'm right, then this should slide away now. Okay, so hold the board up Let me zoom back out a little bit. Keep this cable vertical and then slide it. Oh yeah, I was right. Okay. So hopefully that cable's okay because I was pulling on it a little bit. Right, so this is the power button cable and it's attached like that. I don't know why they did it that way. It makes it so much more difficult. But anyways, there we go. So here we got the whole thing out. You can see the RAM here. This is they don't say what type of RAM this is. This is DDR4, but I'm not sure the speed. So this is, the RAM is PC4 or DDR4. Oh, I hate Kingston. They don't tell you what kind of stuff it is. They put like these weird codes. So I don't know if these numbers will help you at all. Yeah, just know it's DDR4 memory. You can search up these models and see if you can find out specifically what type of RAM it is. But for this, I'm just trying to fix his fan, so I'm not going to worry about all of that. There's also an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD here, so if you want, you can change this. Just transfer over this thermal pad. I don't want to mess with it because I'm just doing their fan stuff. So anyways, that's pretty much all there is to this. I'm going to clean up the fan, and then let me see. So I'm only going to clean up the fan that's having the problem, or like fix the bearing, the one that's making noises. It's making like a buzzing sound. So I'm going to work on that. I'm just cleaning off the dust from the thing with a toothbrush. Okay, and I'm holding it over a trash can. That's why I had to go off camera to do this, because I don't have a way to move my camera around and show this. But basically I'm just brushing all the dust into the trash. Okay, sometimes I would take this outside and then do this, and then have an air blower that I use as well. But let's try doing it this way. So, oh, there's still some dust in there. Okay, so do that. And then I got this air blowing thing that I use. It's like a squeeze air blower. Just so I can get most of the dust out. Okay, so here you can see the difference. These fans, when I blow it, it keeps spinning. This fan, you can see it keeps spinning. This fan, it just gets stuck, and you can kind of hear it. So it makes like a zzz, zzz sound or something. But anyways, let's see if I can remove the fan without completely taking the heatsink out. I want to try and avoid taking the heatsink out because I don't want to have to redo all the thermal paste. There's a lot of thermal paste on this and all these heat pads that are underneath here. The CPU and GPU aren't replaceable or upgradable, so yeah, unless you do like reballing, micro soldering, but yeah, most people won't be able to do that, so there's no point even taking this piece out to see. If you know how to do that, you'll know how to take these off. So alright, so let's see here. So I'm going to disconnect the fan connector here. So same like the other ones, you kind of just grab the connector and just wiggle it just like that, and it pops out. Alright, there are 3 tiny screws here, so I'm going to try removing those 3 small screws. You do want to be careful with this because these cables are delicate, so I'm going to set that aside. I'm actually going to also clean the dust under here as well, just to make sure. Okay. Might as well clean it up since I have it open. Okay. Okay. Alright, now that's all cleaned up, so I'm going to set that aside. Okay. So we got that done. Now let's try and remove the fan screws. So I got this anti-static foam mat, like from when I work on other screen repairs and things. They just come with it. So I'm going to switch to a PH0 screwdriver, and I'm going to remove the screws here. So the fan has 3 screws in it. I don't know if I can zoom in and have this in view, but I'll try. Alright, well, hopefully that's close enough. So got that screw out. Then there's this screw here. Okay. And then there's one more screw up in this corner. The problem is this fan, these plastic brackets are in the way. So I don't know if I'll be able to remove it without taking the heatsink out, but I will try. Okay, so we got that. Now what I'm doing is I'm lifting the heatsink and pulling the board down, and hopefully I can slide this fan out. There's probably a bracket on this side that's holding it. Actually, there isn't. Okay. But I don't think I'll be able to slide the fan out because it's gonna hit this. It's gonna hit this piece and this piece. But let me see here. Can I lift it up and maneuver it in a way that I can remove the fan? So I'm lifting the board and pushing the heatsink down while I kind of lift the fan and kind of move it around. There's a huge chunk of dust in there, so I don't know, that's kind of bad. I don't know why they didn't just make this design without those little plastic things and just hold those small screws. Use the small screws to hold it on. I think there's something blocking it there. Let me see here. No? There's nothing really holding it in place. So I don't know why it's stuck other than those two plastic tabs. So I'm going to try and pull the heatsink down further. So I'm pushing this down and then pulling up with my index finger. And there we go. Okay. So here you can see, look at this. Oh my goodness. This dust ball was all in there. And that's even after I was like cleaning it out. So I don't know if I should open the other side and then clean it. The customer was only complaining about the noise on this, but I mean, I should clean up both sides just to be safe, because I'm sure it will eventually get bad. I'll probably actually, I can look through the holes here and you can actually, I don't know if you can't really see it in camera, but you can see like light going through. That's how you know that it's clear and there isn't a bunch of junk in there. So I think this is the GPU heatsink, and that one doesn't run as hard because it's not running all the time. The CPU one's always running. But anyways, I'm going to blow more air into it just to try and clear it up if there's anything in there. I don't think there's any big chunks of dust in there because it would fly into the propellers and then it would stop the fan. So I think we're good on the GPU fan. Okay, so we got that. Now I'm going to attempt to repair the CPU fan. So what do I do with that? Okay, let me clean this more with the toothbrush. Alright, and then I'm going to use this to blow the excess dust out. Alright, so if they design this fan right, or the good way, the way it should be done, then this fan should be removable. I'm cleaning dust off of the fan propellers right now. Okay, so clean that up, blow up some air. So if we're lucky, this propeller should just pop up. So you just grab this lightly and then pull it up. Oh no, it's kind of... Okay, I'm going to try and push it through from the bottom. Oh good, it came out. I was worried it was one of the sealed designs. So here you can see there's more dust all stuck in here. So we're going to clean that up as well. Okay, and then this I'm going to clean as well with the toothbrush, just like this. So I'm holding it so that it can spin slightly while I brush it. That way it can rotate and I can brush all the blades. And I'm just going to blow the dust out. Alright, so what's going on, if you can see here, I'm going to put this back on. Hopefully that didn't... Okay, yeah, it's still bad. So if I do this... Oh, I can feel it, like it vibrates really bad. So what we want to do is we want to redo the grease that's in the bearings here. So I'm going to set the motherboard or the logic board aside, and I'll show you how we do this. So we got the fan here, okay? Again, you just pop the fan out from the back. You want to put even pressure. Don't put it all on one side or it will get stuck. And try to do it like across the center here. Some fans you can actually take this label off and then you can add grease into like a little hole in the bottom, like there's a reservoir. But this one you have to actually pop it out. So if it's stuck, just be careful, kind of move around, go to the other side, and then try and pop this out. Okay. It got stuck because the grease is so bad. There we go. All right, so there we go. We got this out. And then what you want to do is get like a paper towel or napkin. Okay. And then you want to clean off the center shaft here a little bit. Just grab it with the napkin and then twist the fan blades. And here you can see it's kind of dirty. Okay. So that's the old bad grease that like dust and things got in. You want to get some motor oil. I like to use some synthetic motor oil. If you don't have a bottle of oil, basically if you have a car or a lawnmower or whatever, you can pull the dipstick out and then just grab like a drop of oil from there and drop that into the fan. Like you'll see what I mean. So I get a little needle like this. Okay, I just tilt the thing over. And all you need is like a drop. So it's not even that much. You get like, I don't even think you can see it, but there's a small drop there. And then you just take the fan and you just drop the oil into that hole, okay? Into the little center hole, just like that. And then wiggle it around. Okay. After you do that, just put this piece back on. Oops, I touched the thing with some oil. All right, usually I will pull it back out, clean it up, and then put more oil in it. But usually the first time you do it, it should already be a lot better. So here you can see, it spins a lot better. It's a little bit wobbly though, that's kind of weird. But you can see the fan spins a lot better, okay? So now we pull this thing back out. Oh, the fan propellers got a little bit warped from pulling it up. Okay, after you pull that back out, same thing, get the paper again, and then just clean it again. I'm going to see if I can flatten out the propeller blades. Okay. Sorry, I'm just evening out the propeller blades to kind of try and make sure that they're flat. Alright, so here you can see the grease is slightly like greenish brown. Here you can see the grease is like a yellowish brown. It's like a lot lighter. So that's how you know it's still kind of dirty. So what you do, get another drop. Oops, make sure you don't get too big of a drop or it will just fall off the needle. Okay, and then just add some more grease in there and repeat the process. Okay, do that again. Put the propeller back on, spin it around. Okay. Just like that. Take the fan back out. Okay. Clean it again. You can see it's still kind of gross. If you want, you can keep doing this until it's like clean. But usually if you do it like 2 times, 3 times, then the fan is already good enough that it's not going to be an issue. So just add more grease in there. Okay. Again, you don't have to do this until it comes out completely clean because it's most likely not going to ever do that unless you do it like 50 times or something. So do that again. Get the grease. Okay. Pull the propeller blades back up. Okay. Same thing. Clean it off again. Here you can see it's a lot better now. So compared to this, it's like super clean, but this compared to that, it's like green. So I'll do that again. Oil, drop it in the hole. Okay. Just like that. Drop this back on top. Alright. Spin it up again. But here you can see how much better the fan is. It's so much better. Okay, and we'll pull this out again. Clean it off again. check it. See, it's getting a lot better. Now I had more oil on there, so it's kind of more thick. So that should be good. I'm gonna clean this out. Okay, not too much. You don't want to get lint inside the bearing, but I'm just putting it there to kind of absorb the oil that was on top. All right, so now what you want to do, put another drop there. Not too much. You don't want it to overflow out. Okay, you can just kind of get it on the needle and then just touch it in there. All right, there we go. Now it's all lubricated. We'll put this away. Put the fan back on, just like that. Check it one more time. It's spinning really well. Okay. There you go. Oh, this fan is still like slightly uneven, or maybe it's the metal piece because I was like slightly bending it. But there we go. Compared to before, it would like stop almost immediately, right? We'll put the oil away. Okay. Now grab the motherboard again. Make sure you're grounded, that you're not gonna release a static shock to your computer or your fan. All right. So now we gotta tuck this back in. So this time I'll do it from this side so you can see how these plastic pieces go, but they basically need to go underneath. Okay, so you gotta kind of grab the board only, and then that way you can kind of push on the heatsink here. Okay, so like this, have this go underneath and this go underneath. So you want this side to go first, I think. Yep, just like that. Make sure the cable goes underneath, and then you can kind of swing it in, hopefully. Let's see here. It's a little bit tricky. You kind of have to pull it slightly out while you're also swinging it. So, uh-oh, got caught on something. Come on. Come back out. There we go. So you need it slightly in, but not all the way. So that way you can get this side and swing it under as well. Okay. Just like that. And then push both sides in. Just like this. There we go. And it dropped in place. Flip this back over. Make sure it's all lined up. Put back those tiny screws. Okay. Grab the screwdriver. Okay, it's on this side. Grab the tiny screws again. Put it loosely. Oops. Okay. Put it loose like that. Grab the second screw. Put that one in loosely as well. Third screw. I like to twist it backwards to make sure I feel it click, and then I twist it in. Okay, now we got all three in, so let's tighten down the screw. Don't over tighten it because it's going into plastic. You can easily strip out the screw hole. Okay. Alright, just like that. And there we go. Now we got the fan repaired. Reconnect, make sure to reconnect the fan connector here. Just like this. And then pinch it in. I like to pinch both sides so that way this connector isn't taking all the force of pushing that connector in. Okay, make sure that your RAM is okay. These connectors are kind of dirty, so I usually wipe them off like this. Some people panic, but don't worry about it. Works well. Okay, same thing with this. Of course, you want to make sure you're grounded when you're doing this because you don't want static to go into the connectors. But some people worry about like grease and things, but it's not a big deal. It's not going to cause an issue. Your computer will be dead before your RAM dies. Okay, so there we go. All right, so I'll flip this over. We'll zoom back out. Oops, too far. Okay, grab the computer piece back. Alright, this guy, his screen's also broken, so I'm not going to show that because taking out the screen, it's like held in with a lot of adhesive. So he told me he just uses it with an external monitor anyways, so he didn't want me to do it. Okay, so you got to put this side first because the power cable. So make sure that you slide the power cable between the fan and the board. Okay, just like this. Alright, slide it through. Make sure that's lined up. Hold the board up and then pull these cables out. Okay, make sure that the LED light board cable's out. Make sure the keyboard backlight, the keyboard cable, the trackpad cable, make sure they're all on top. You also want to, oops, I probably should have taken this out first. You want to also make sure that these cables are out on top. Okay, so that's probably best to hold these up first when you do this. Okay, and then worry about the power cable here. Slide it into place, right? Then slowly lower it as you pull these other cables out. Okay. Lower it some more. Okay. And slowly drop it in. Okay. Then you can plug back in the speaker cable here. Just like that. We'll grab the other speaker that we took out. Put that back in place. And then this one you have to make sure to plug it underneath, so actually you can plug this in, line it up and plug it in first. Okay. Then once you got it plugged in, then you can drop the speaker into place. Just like that. The LED board, grab that and reconnect it. There we go. Make sure you guide the CMOS battery back in place. It goes routed like that. Okay. Alright, then the power cable. Make sure you lift that latch back up. Put the power connector back in. Hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. I know it's zoomed out a lot, but it's kind of a pain to keep zooming in and out so many times while I'm doing this, so I'm kind of leaving it zoomed out for now. Alright, let's see. So now we're going to have to put back all the screws. Well, we can put back this board first. Just drop it back in place. Alright, get the screwdriver. I'm going to switch back to the PH1. Okay, and just put back these two screws. Just like this. Alright, so now let's get back all these little silver screws that we're holding in the motherboard and put those back in. So we got one here. And we got one right underneath the fan here. And we got one down at this corner near the CMOS battery connector. And we got this one right to the right of that fan. Okay. Then, let's see here. Then we got the one that was like up here without a little circle, without the brass or copper circle. Alright. Then we got the one down here, almost in the corner. Okay, let me actually zoom in a little bit. Okay. Then we got this one up here, slightly to the side of the fans below them. Then we got this one on the fan itself. Okay. Then we got this one, corner of this board. Right. Then we got the one in the middle of the fans. Right, and the last one holding this fan in place here. There we go. Okay, so now we got all of those. Next we're going to put back in the wireless card. So the wireless card goes down here. we'll push that back in just like this. All right. Get the screw. Peel up the adhesive out of the way and put that screw in. Alright, then we will put this cable in. I don't remember if one needs to be on top or not, but I'm going to put the LCD or LVDS connector first. Sorry if my head gets in the way because I'm trying to see what I'm doing here. There we go. Alright, put the latch back down, just like that. Wireless antennas, oh, I think the wireless antennas did go underneath before, so make sure to guide them underneath if they were there. Put that tape back over. Alright, so the one without the cable goes into the main. Just line it up. And push that down. Okay, then grab the other one. Same thing. Oops, this one's kind of getting in the way, so I'm gonna, maybe I need to switch it and put that one on top. Okay, there we go. Grab that wire, line it up. Make sure it's lined up when you push it down. The way I check is that if I rub my nail over it and it stays in place, you know it's lined up properly. Alright, there we go. Then you can put this adhesive back down on top. Alright, let's see. So these have to go on top of the battery, so I need to leave those out. The trackpad connector I'll do now. Flip up that latch, make sure, and then get that in and latch it down. Okay, we got all of that in. Now, I think we need the battery next. Well, we can put this one first. Okay, so make sure the latch is up. Put it in the slot, just like that. Latch it down. Right, same thing with this one. This is a little tricky. Line it up. There we go. You can use the little blue tab with like your fingernail or something to push it in. Latch it down. Tape down the black tape if you want. Okay, so we had this one for this connectors, and then I think one for that. Okay, so now we got all of that back in. Get the hard drive. Okay, I think I'm missing a piece of the yellow tape. I don't know where the yellow tape for the hard drive one went. Okay, connect that just like that. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay. I forgot which one was which because they're like the same size. I think it was this one was for the hard drive. Let's see, we taped it on like that. So it's like this. Okay, tape that on. There we go. Now the battery. Okay, so we'll take the battery. Let's plug in these connectors first. We'll plug in the keyboard backlight connector here. Alright, just like that. Alright, then this one. Latch that down, okay. Make sure to hold this cable up as you slide the battery in. Let's check, make sure everything else is connected. Yep. Right, the only last one is this cable. Sorry, it's too zoomed in, I think. There we go. So we're gonna put the battery back in. Make sure you have it the right side up. They actually marked this one, but if you look, you want these gold pins facing down, okay? So make sure to get it lined up right. You don't want to try and plug it in if it's not lined up, or you can completely fry your computer. Alright, get that all lined up, and then you gotta wiggle and push this connector in. It can be a little tricky. Come on, there we go. Right, and then make sure that the adhesive, you slide the battery over, just like that. If you want, you can use like a thinner tool, not this. You'll want to use something that's non-conductive. What did I do with my little plastic tool? It disappeared. Oh, here we go. Okay, so you can use like your thin plastic tool if you have one like this, and then you can use that to kind of push it and walk the cable in. Just go between the wires and then pull it like that. Okay, here we go. There we go. Alright, drop that in, stick it back down, stick this tape back down. Again, you don't want to press on top of the folded parts of the connectors because you can damage them that way. Then we'll plug this in. Okay, motherboard side first, just like this. Right, put the latch down, and then USB side. Line it up. I like to push this so it like bows upward, and then you can use that to help push the cable in. There we go. And then we'll put back this piece of tape. Alright. Just like that. And then the last piece of tape. I forgot where this one was. I think it was for this. Not 100% sure. I think so. If it's wrong, too bad. It might also be this one. I don't remember. Let's see. There's some marks here. It says US. Oh, okay. That actually came from here. You can actually see the imprint on the tape itself. So, yeah, just like that. All right. So we got everything back in. We got all the screws back in. Now you just want to put the cover back on top. Easiest way is bottom first. Though actually you can snap in the top first here. So snap that in and then make sure that you get those little latches back in. Okay. And then make sure to slide that forward and push it down. And now put back all the screws, okay? And that's pretty much all there is to this. Hopefully this video, oops, what's going on here? Why is it not going all the way in? Did I not do something right here? Okay, why is this screw not going in all the way? Am I doing something wrong, or did I not line something up right? Let's open this again. Get those clips out, please. Okay, there we go. Why is it not? There's nothing there. Why would it get stuck? That's weird. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on, but let's put this back. Maybe I'm just not, I have to just try harder. Okay. I don't like forcing screws in because it can damage something. Alright, so we got 4 up top, then these 2, and then these 2, and then these, wait, and then these 2 middle ones, then these 2, then that 4. Yeah, that should be right. So why isn't this screw going in? Am I doing something wrong here? That's weird. Did I mix some screws up? Is it supposed to be this one? Oh, I think I mixed some screws up because those are longer. So let's see, if I put this, is it gonna have the same issue? But how did I mix it up like that? Okay, I guess I mixed them up. So these longer screws go here. How did I mix that up? That's weird. Right, longer ones in the back. Other longer one in the back. That's why You kind of have to make sure you put the screws back in the right spot. Somehow I mixed them up. I don't know how. So we got shorter screws towards the back corners here. Yeah, that's right. Now it fits. Okay. There we go. Perfect. All right, go down the sides. What is that? Something's blocking the way. Do I have to take this back out? What is that? Oh, that one's the one that got stuck last time when I was taking it out, so I'm gonna have to do that. Oh, that's probably what happened. They were the furthest out to the side, so then I put them as the first screws. Okay. Right, take that out, take that out. It's in there. Something's under here. Oh, it's a piece of foil or something is coming out. What is that? Metal washer. So that's supposed to be part of the top of this thing. Alright, let's pop this out. Huh. I don't know where this metal washer came from. There's two here. There's one here. Are they supposed to be on these? Oh no, there's one there. There's random metal washers. I guess it's supposed to be there. Oops, I dropped it. It looks like there's some double stick adhesive that used to be on it, but it moved around, so probably when I brushed it with the toothbrush. Right, keep that aligned there. Put this cover back on. Hopefully it stays aligned this time. Alright. Let's put back all the screws now. Oh no, I chopped that screw because it wasn't staying in. Right, tighten that one in. Tighten that one in. I should have some spare screws for that if it's missing. But I'll probably find the screw. Anyways, tighten up all the screws. And that's pretty much all there is to this. Hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, please like and subscribe. Help others find my videos. Thank you for watching. You're welcome to stay and watch me put back all the screws. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Alright, we'll continue putting all these screws. Wonder where that one screw fell when I flipped over the cap. Alright, warranty void sticker. Last ones. Oh, actually, there's also one screw missing there. I wonder where that went. Maybe I didn't have that screw. I'll see if I have a spare and then I'll replace it. So, alright. So that's pretty much all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you guys. Again, like and subscribe. Hope others find my videos. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to find some spare screws. But yeah. Alright. Bye.